Welcome. This is a brief introduction to program evaluation. Let us begin by looking at who our stakeholders are. First, there is the institution's administrators, then the developers of the curriculum, the teachers of the program, the entities involved in the internship program, and the second-year students of the program. Let me give you some background information. The client is the Woodgrove Technical Vocational Institute, and the program is PUMB 1101, Becoming a Plumber. The program is an 18-month face-to-face diploma program. It consists of 12 courses, and there is a 3-month internship program at the end of the in-class sessions. The learning objectives of PUMB 1101 are: recognize and name common tools used by plumbers, read and interpret basic building and plumbing codes, describe the proper installation procedures for installing fixtures and faucets, etc. Recognize and name the different types of valves. Explain the operation of a simple septic system. As part of a cost-cutting measure, the program was transformed into an online program. And early in its existence as an online program, the institution began to notice some problems. For example, there was a drop in attendance, and they began to receive many complaints from the entities involved in the internship program. Many complained that the students appeared to be ignorant of certain basic information, and generally they appeared to not know what they are doing. So they approached us and asked us to evaluate the program to determine whether it should be revised or done away with altogether. But what exactly is program evaluation? Program evaluation is an invaluable tool used by institutions to strengthen the quality of their programs and improve the outcome for their graduates. Program evaluation is a systematic method of collecting, analyzing, and using information to answer basic questions about a program. So what standards are we going to use in this evaluation exercise? According to the Barbados Accreditation Council, standards are statements that identify the conditions that are necessary for an objective evaluation of the extent to which an institution meets each criterion. There are 5 areas in which quality is evaluated, and they are missions and objectives, governance and administration, teaching and learning, readiness for change, and quality enhancement. For our evaluation, we will be using 4 of these. We will be using mission and objectives, governance and administration, teaching and learning, and quality enhancement. So quickly, what are we looking for? Let me give you an example. Under mission and objectives, we will be looking to see if the institution has a clear, well-articulated mission that represents the institution's objectives and goals. Greater details will be found in the handbook that will be given to you shortly. So What type of evaluation will we be using? The type of evaluation that will be used in this case is the process evaluation. Process evaluation is concerned with evidence of activity and the quality of implementation, and the questions in a process the questions in a process evaluation focus on how well programs are implemented. So one of the things we will be looking for, one of the questions this type of evaluation will try to answer is this: are activities being implemented as intended? If not, what has been changed and for what reason? So let's look at the evaluation model. Program evaluation is not done according to the whims and the fancies of the evaluator. It is done in a systematic fashion and is usually guided by an evaluating framework of one kind or another. In our case, we are using the CIPP model. CIPP was developed by Stuffelbeam in 1966, and it is an acronym for Context, Input, Process, and Product. It is an academic model which has its emphasis on an institution's core values. This is a graphic representation of the model. You can study it carefully later on. So how does this model work? In the context evaluation, the objectives are to define, identify, and address the needs of the target population, identify the problems, and assess if the goals are responsive to the desired needs or not. Input provides information for determining the resources used to meet the goals of the program. The resources include time resources, human resources, physical resources, infrastructure, curriculum, etc. Process focuses on the running of the program and the teaching processes. The evaluation assesses the processes to understand how the school is working and which processes are responsible for better working and maintaining the quality of education. Product looks at the outcomes. The focus of product is not on the students' achievement of grades, but the skills and attitudes, knowledge and learning, because this is what they would use in the real world. This is what benefits society. So this is a quick example of some of the questions under each of the headings. So in context evaluation, we would look at are the aims of the school suitable at this time given the current state of the economy? On the input, we would look at what are the different learning skills that students will gain. On the process, have teachers been trained in the use of teaching technology? On the product, how will students practically implement what they have learned? So let's look now at data collection techniques. We will be using a mixed method approach to collect our data. In other words, we will be using a qualitative and quantitative approach. So for the quantitative approach, we will be using surveys and pre and post test results. For the qualitative approach, we will be using interviews, focus groups, and we will be perusing the institution's records and other artifacts. Data analysis. For this part of the evaluation process, QDA- software will be used to code and analyze the qualitative data. SPSS software will be used for the statistical analysis of the quantitative data. You will receive training in the use of both softwares. So what are some of the possible findings? Based on our discussions with stakeholders, we anticipate that we will find evidence of examinations malpractice, student tutors frustration, stakeholder unwillingness to participate in internship program, and absenteeism among teachers. So, some of the evidence we will be using to make our recommendations, lesson plans that show the inappropriateness of learning activities, assessment that does not cover practical aspects of the program, and reports from the government and private sector agencies that are involved in the internship program. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you again.